Talking about big businesses. The fact of the matter is, well over 95% of all businesses in Texas are small businesses, and they employ about half, if not more, of all working Texans. And so we owe it to our small businesses to help power the Texas economy. And then on top of that, Texas ranks #1 as the best state in America to start a small business, #1 for jobs created by black business owners, Hispanic women business owners, and veteran business owners. Texas is an economy where everybody can thrive and succeed. Now, getting to an issue that I know that many people in this room are interested in, and that is economic development tools. One reason why Texas has been so successful is because we have had an array of economic development tools, whether it be in the governor's office or Chapter 313, whatever the case may be. I know that many of you are concerned about perhaps losing some of those economic development tools. Know this, we're working tirelessly to make sure that we will be able to retain economic development tools. It will not be called Chapter 313, but we will get something passed to make sure that Texas will remain a national leader in economic development. Along those lines, let me explain something that you may or may not have wondered. People may wonder, because I'm never at an event in Corpus Christi where Todd Hunter is not there. But he's busy right now on the most important thing you want him to do, because he is, as we gather here at Corpus today, he's laying out what's called House Bill 5. House Bill 5 is the economic development law or bill in the Texas House of Representatives. So he is doing your business today to make sure that we will have a very effective bill that will replace Chapter 313. It's called the Texas Jobs and Security Act. It will ensure that Texas remains #1 for business investment and #1 for job creation. Now, I feel confident that in one form or another, we will pass an economic development bill. That said, when you listen to what I'm about to tell you about other things that we will be passing, Texas is going to be so attractive for businesses to move to that we're having to change the way we're building the wall. We're going to have to build a border wall on our western border, our northern border, our eastern border to stop people from coming into the state of Texas. Because here's what we're going to do. Because the economy has been so successful, it has produced another record. We now have the largest budget surplus in the history of the state of Texas at almost $35 billion in a budget surplus. To help you see, by contrast, the way different states govern, while Texas has a $35 billion surplus, California has about a $20 billion deficit. Good policies make a big difference. Well, we will use that budget surplus to provide you with the largest property tax cut in the history of this state. So it started out with both the House and Senate proposing in their initial budgets using $15 billion for property taxes. Then the Senate passed their budget last week, and it had $16.5 billion in it for property tax cuts. The House is going to be proposing something like $17.5 billion in property tax cuts. I think maybe if we give them another month or two, we can get to 18, maybe 19, to here 20. Anybody? We can keep it going up and lower your property taxes even more. Well, also, because of our business climate is so inviting, we are seeing those businesses continue to relocate to Texas from other states, including in particular California. There was a story recently about another company from California relocating their headquarters to Texas. And the CEO explained why in 2 sentences that I want to pick up on. He said, and I quote, "This relocation is beneficial from a number of standpoints, including a lower cost of living and access to a highly educated workforce." One point is that whenever any CEO either comes here or expands here, I talk to them and find out why it is that they are coming here or expanding here. Always included in the first sentence about why they are doing so is because of the top quality workforce that Texas has. So we already have a good workforce. What we need is more of it. So what we're working on this session, especially at the 2-year college level, is making sure that we have the trained, skilled workforce that our employers demand. So we are changing the way that we provide funding for our 2-year colleges. The funding is going to be based more upon outcomes. Are they graduating students with degrees and the skill sets ready to go to work for employers in their region? If so, they'll be getting more money. If not, they'll be getting less money. It's not exactly like, but it is akin to the way Texas State Technical College works, TSTC. Many people may be familiar with it. It's a grand form of an education plan because TSTC does not get paid until their student gets a job. We know there's high demand for jobs of skilled employees in the state. We will be ensuring that that pipeline is going to be full. And let me show you how this works. I met with a woman several years ago who went through a job skills training program. And as she explained to me how it transformed her life, I was captivated. She said before going through that program, she was actually homeless. And then she went through that program, and she had been there 4 years at the time, and it was with S&B Engineers and Constructors, if anybody knows that company, but it's a type of company that deals with a lot of businesses like those in the Corpus Christi area. And she said that after going through that program, whereas she had been homeless before, she then was her own homeowner. And I asked how much she was making, and she told me. So I said, 4 years ago, you were homeless, and now today, you're making more than the governor of Texas. These job skill training programs are fabulous. Another thing that we are working on is a massive regulation reform package. The fact of the matter is that too many regulations, they hinder small businesses and they increase the cost of doing business. Red tape slows down businesses. One reason why Texas as a state has been so successful in bringing businesses in is because we have a mantra that we use with every prospect, and that is that Texas will move at the speed of business. And we need every economic development corporation, every community, every city, every county to operate at that same speed. Let me give you one example of how this happened. If Texas did not have that mantra, if Texas had not been able to deliver on that mantra that we move at the speed of business, Texas would never have a connection with Tesla in the first place. What happened with Tesla is during April of 2020, during the time of COVID, when businesses were shut down in California as well as elsewhere, Elon Musk met with me and said he needed to build a mile-long gigafactory, and he needed it to be built in 18 months. I'm thinking under my breath, yeah, good luck with that. But he explained to me his vision, how he would execute it, and we worked out a deal and finished it in June of 2020. And part of the deal is that we would be accelerating the permitting process. And so from the time of June 2020 until December 2021, which is 18 months, Elon Musk began to turn dirt and then build more than a mile-long gigafactory with all of the nuanced details that have to go into a gigafactory, and begin rolling vehicles off of that gigafactory 18 months later in December of 2021. And Elon Musk tweeted that he finished a gigafactory in Texas in 18 months. In California, he would not even have his first permit granted. That's what you call moving at the speed of business. Because of what's going on here in Nueces County with Tesla, I'm guessing that you perhaps are also moving at the same speed of business. If you can find ways to fast track your permitting process, not just for the Teslas of the world, but especially for the small businesses who are trying to build a small project, they get pushed maybe to the back of the line and things like that. You can empower your small businesses to grow faster, grow more, and that will redound to the economic benefit of the county, of the cities, and help your economy grow even more. So next we have the resources that we need to address a high demand need in this region. And that is, we need to bolster our infrastructure. With the growth that we have in this state, population-wise and business-wise, there's a greater need and demand for transportation infrastructure. A couple of months ago, we announced a $100 billion plan to build roads across the state of Texas. We will get the transportation going in Texas the way that we need. That $100 billion includes construction projects for major roads across the region, including one that is a problem, and that is the Harbor Bridge. We're going to get that Harbor Bridge going. So let me give you, people want to know this. I want to give you a quick update on Harbor Bridge. And if I recall correctly, the groundbreaking on that was in 2016, right? Because here's my recollection. I at the time, was suffering from third-degree burns on my feet. And the first time I went out and did anything publicly after that was to come here and do the groundbreaking where you turn the shovel, turn the dirt on this Harbor Bridge. That's how important it was for me to get out and do something like that. To learn about its slowdown, the design flaws that led to the slowdown was far more than frustrating. It was angering for me. And I know more so for you because you have to live with it every day. But I think we can agree on this, and that is the defects in the design could have led to a catastrophe like what we saw in some other place. And the last thing that we would want to have happen is to see the loss of life. Well, the good news is this. I'm speaking to you from points given to me by TxDOT, and that is the developer has resolved all of TxDOT's concerns, and suspension of the work on the bridge has now been lifted, and they're going back to work. And the developer is maximizing labor efforts with multiple shifts, both during the day and at night, to get that bridge built as quickly as possible. Now, we also know that because of the Harbor Bridge, because of all the construction going on around there, it's led to another deadly related issue, and that is traffic problems about people driving the wrong way as they are trying to cross. So Texas Department of Transportation has worked with the Corpus Christi as well as others in this region to permanently close the Power Street and Padre Street exits. They're going to make improvements, including returning Padre Street to a two-way traffic. And this work is scheduled to be completed later this month with additional wrong-way driver detection systems to be completed also later this month, and additional operational improvements to city streets near Twig Street ramp are planned. Bottom line is that TxDOT is working with local officials in the region to make sure that safety will be paramount. And along those lines, we learned about the deaths that were occurring because of people driving the wrong way on the roads. And it was a tragedy that had to stop. And so I had both the Texas Department of Public Safety as well as TxDOT work with your local leaders to make sure that we fix that. And that's exactly what they have achieved. And so I have from the Texas Department of Public Safety, this readout of what they have accomplished. In just a 20-day period, beginning March 11th through March the 30th, DPS, as part of the Harbor Bridge Wrong Way Driver Coalition Task Force, working with the entire task force, they have made almost 2,000 traffic stops, issuing hundreds of citations, including 22 arrests for DWI, 51 arrests for narcotics, and they're having an impact on public safety. I've not heard of a single death take place since they began that wrong way traffic task force. Our goal is to ensure no more deaths as we continue with the construction of this bridge project. So the Harbor Bridge is not the only bridge we're working on. We are 110% committed to accelerating the second causeway to Padre Island. So kind of the kickoff of it, there's always a kickoff for a football game, there's a kickoff for a construction project, and that is the environmental impact study. The environmental impact study was scheduled to begin in 2035. I told TxDOT I want them to begin now, and that's exactly what they are doing. That's what, about a 12-year acceleration in the process. And I'm told that it includes the entire regional parkway plan. If anybody here learns it does not include the entire regional parkway plan, I want you to call that chief of staff from Corpus Christi, Gardner Pate, and let him know, and we will get that course corrected also. To let you know the mindset of TxDOT in this matter, I want to read you 2 sentences from the district engineer in charge of this project. And I've never seen language like this before in one of their letters. He says, and I quote, "The importance of this announcement cannot be overstated. This collaborative effort sets in motion a significant step to move this important regional project forward. Bottom line is, we will get that second causeway built, as well as the regional roadway that extends from kind of the western and southwestern side of Corpus area all the way to Beach Road 22 in maybe 10 to 15 years sooner than what it would have been completed in. When you look at a map of that, just at the map level, you can see the dramatic economic impact that's going to provide for the entire region, whether it be additional housing, whether it be tourism, whether it be easier traffic getting